Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Luke Touma podcast. I'm your host, Jerry Garcia. No, I'm your host, Luke Touma, guys. Thank you for coming, man. This is the first episode of the podcast. I did this podcast before. I did maybe one or two or three episodes, but I had guests. They were interviews. They were good, but it wasn't really me. I had a stupid name for it, so I switched it off. Now it's just Luke Touma podcast. So if you're a fan of me, just search my name on iTunes, and you'll be able to find the pod. But I'm psyched. I'm here with my producer, Mark Gagnon. You can't see him, but he's there. We're in a very small room. You heard the you're. We're in a very small room. He's pressed up against the wall. But no, dude. I mean, we're jammed into a spare room and it's rough out here. But no, he's doing a wonderful job. I got moved to Bay Ridge, Brooklyn. I used to live in Queens. Before that, I lived in Bushwick. They're like neighborhoods where like a lot of young people, struggling artists live in New York. But then I moved to Bay Ridge, which is like an old school Italian neighborhood in Brooklyn. I love it, dude. And I have this extra room now that can use as like a podcast studio or like shoot green screen shit. It's amazing. And I feel like I got a little like my little mini Rogan compound out in Bay Ridge, which is dope. But the old Italian neighborhood, dude, it's like an old school New York neighborhood, which I've come around to now. I think when I first moved out of Buffalo and like moved to like Boston and then New York, I wanted to live in like, oh, cool, where like there's like young people and it's like hip like coffee shops and I could like, meet chicks and other artists to collaborate with, blah, blah, blah. And like now I'm straight on my old man shit. Like I want to go to a deli and get a coffee, talk to the deli guy. I want him to know my order. I want to know his order. There's a diner down the street. I like to go there. I get a fucking omelet. I sit with the old school diner cup of coffee, get a million free refills. I'm juiced off coffee by the end of it. The lady's like an old lady. She's like, hello, sweetheart. What would you like today? Oh, it's good to see you. All the old guys are in there, They're old, they're white, a little racist, but, these are the times. And this is the time they grew up in. What are you going to do? There's something about, like, there's not that many old school New York neighborhoods left. So a place like this, it kind of feels like a rare gem now. It's not a bunch of fucking CVS's. It's not a bunch of hip coffee shops. Nobody's parents are paying their rent here. It's like people with families. Like, I really feel myself getting old like that. But I also think, like, when you're in a neighborhood like this, you just get more interesting experiences. I lived in fucking Bushwick where all the young hip people were. I got no interesting experiences. It was just, I went to a coffee shop. I went to a dive bar. I hung out with people. I talked to some girl, whatever. It was not interesting. Whereas here, I mean, I go to a barbershop, and my barber is a Chinese guy, fully Chinese, and born and raised in Bay Ridge, and he literally talks like a caricature of an Italian guy. Like, he's literally talks like this. Like, he's Chinese. Like, imagine a Chinese guy. He literally talks like, yo, dude, I'm fucking Chinese. Like, I'm fucking Chinese, dude. I'm fucking born and raised, dude, Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, Chinese, dude. My parents are straight off the boat from China. Like, that's literally how he talks. You expect, like, at least a Chinese accent or, like, kind of like a mild manner. Like, hey, man, how's it going? Like, how you doing? My name is Dave. Nice to meet you. I'm born and raised in Bay Ridge. But no, it's literally like, yo, dude, I'm fucking born and raised in Bay Ridge, dude. Nobody's kicking me out of here, bro. So I love it, dude. It's hilarious. It's like literally even like Chinese people, no matter what, everybody, if you're black, if you're Puerto Rican, everybody sounds Italian in this neighborhood. And I went to the barbershop. So the first time I went to this barbershop, they're doing coke in the barbershop and they're selling coke out of the barbershop. People are coming in and out. They're like bagging coke. They would go to the back room. You could hear them like them doing coke like that. So the first time I'm in there, I walk in, it's me, two other guys. One guy's getting his hair cut. One guy's who eventually became my barber, who's cutting his hair. They're both coked out of their mind, and the three of us are watching the documentary on the famous mafia hitman, the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski, and he's like the most deadly hitman in the history of like mafia guys. He worked for the Gambino crime family. He had like 250 murders. So we're watching this guy describe like brutally murdering hundreds of people, and my barber and the guy he's cutting hair for are both coked out of their minds, and they're watching the TV going, yo, bro, he did what he had to do. Like, come on, like he had a family, he was feeding his family. Sometimes, these young kids, they don't get it. Like, you got to just like do what you need to do. Sometimes, you're going to have to stick an ice pick in a dude's head. You never know, because that's what you got to do for your family. Like, I love my family, so, like, if I needed to cut a motherfucker's head off, I would. And I'm just fucking dying. I'm like, I can't believe I'm literally sitting listening to these guys justify mass murder. And I'm like, this is great. This is what I moved to Bay Ridge for. That's what I was thinking. So I went there. By the way, best haircut of my fucking life. This is a new guy that did this. It's good. It's not the haircut I got when I went to the Coked Out Barbershop. And I realized that I need, like, you're the best barber. Being a good barber, it's so much attention to detail. It's getting every little hair, making sure the fade is right, making sure the lines are all straight. Like, the only way to be anal enough to give a perfect haircut is to be on coke. That's what you got to do. Like, if you want to be a great barber, when you're at barber school, duck off into the bathroom, bump a couple lines. You're gonna kill it. You're gonna give the perfect haircut. The lines are gonna be straight. The fade's gonna be perfectly done. This guy killed it. Magnificent haircut. Completely high on cocaine. Wouldn't shut the fuck up the whole time. Talking in my ear about the Iceman. Like, yo, bro, like, really, like, he used the knife because he wanted to see, like, their screams. And, like, I appreciate that dude because it's like he knew he, like, needed to show a motherfucker, like, teach him a lesson, And I'm fucking sitting here listening to him talk about this murder in my ear. But gave the perfect haircut. So a couple weeks pass. And I'm like, all right, I need another haircut. Where am I going to go? Obviously, to the cocaine barbers. I got to get that haircut again. I got to get another story. So I walk up to the barbershop. This is last night. Walk up to the barbershop, and my barber, the Chinese Italian man, is outside, and he's bent over. And he's going, and he looks like he's messed up on some drugs. And this other guy comes up, like a Dominican-looking dude, and he opens the door to the barbershop. And I said, oh, are you open? And he goes, yeah, I'm open. And I was like, okay. And then he walked next door. And I thought he was another barber. And he was just going next door for like a pack of cigarettes. Turns out he owns the vape shop next door. I had no idea. So I go in. He lets my barber in. He leaves. So now it's just me and my barber. We're the only two people in there. My barber clearly fucked up on heroin or oxys or something. He sets down 2 Popeyes chicken sandwiches in the wrapper on the barber chair, and he's bent over the barber chair, and he's going moaning and wailing. He's like tripping over himself. He's like, oh, and he's just desperately unwrapping these 2 Popeyes chicken sandwiches, and he can't get the wrappers off. He's going, oh fuck, bro, I'm fucked up. And I was like, hey Dave, man, can you cut hair? Like, he killed it on coke. I figured he would be even better on heroin. So I'm like, all right, hey Dave, man, can you cut my hair? He goes, nah, bro, I don't think I could do that. I'm too fucked up. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, all right, well, I'll wait for the next guy to come, the other barber, and I'll just get my haircut by him. And the other barber's not coming back. Dave's struggling with these chicken sandwiches. Nobody else is in the barber shop. And then a crazy homeless guy comes up to the front door of the barber shop, and he's just going, and he's like grabbing his stomach. And I'm like, oh, he's like a crazy homeless guy. Like, hopefully he'll go away soon. My barber goes outside. I think he's going to tell the guy to fuck off. And then those two walk down the street together. And I realize they're friends and they're doing heroin together. My barber is basically a crazy homeless guy. And so now they leave. I'm in the barber shop alone. He finally comes back. I don't know why I stayed. I think I either wanted the story. I really honestly needed a fucking haircut. I needed that haircut. I looked like shit. So I'm staying there. Dave comes back. He's alone now. He left his homeless friend. And he finishes unwrapping his chicken sandwich. He starts eating his chicken sandwich, and he's like hunched over. I have a picture of him. He's like hunched over the garbage can, just eating like this Popeye's chicken sandwich. Like it's his final meal. Like he's the Iceman, Richard Kuklinski, and he's on death row. And so he's eating the chicken sandwich, and I go, Dave, bro, is the other dude coming back, your boy? And he goes, what boy? And I was like, the other barber. And he goes, ain't no other barbers, bro. It's just me, bro. And he starts going on this rant about how hard immediately breaks into like a Gary Vee style rant where he's like, it's just me, bro. Every day, like I'm in here alone, hustling, grinding, like doing my thing. He's coming down off heroin right now, and he's eating a Popeye's chicken sandwich like, yo, bro, like in life, you just got to do what you got to do. And he's just pounding this chicken sandwich. And I realized that nobody's cutting my hair. Nobody's in there to cut hair. The barbershop was closed. He opened it up so that he and I could hang out. I'm not going to get a haircut. And I swear to God, he finally just goes, yo, bro, you want a chicken sandwich? And I was like, what? And he goes, I mean, I'm not going to eat this shit. Like, I didn't touch it or nothing. You want a chicken sandwich? And I was like, okay. So then me and my heroin induced barber eat Popeye's chicken sandwiches together, and he's going like, literally goes, I mean, yo, bro, the sandwich is good, but I'm not about to get stabbed over this shit. He's like, I'm not about to get stabbed over a chicken sandwich, bro. Like, it's a good chicken sandwich, but it's not like a stab-worthy chicken sandwich, you know? Like, you know when a sandwich is good enough to get stabbed. Like, nah, not this, bro. And then he goes, you want a drink? And I was like, huh? And he goes, you want a drink? And I was like, no, I'm good. He's like, you don't want like a soda, nothing? And I was like, no, man, I'm good. And he goes, all right. And he leaves and he goes to the corner store to get a soda, pounded the rest of the chicken sandwich, threw my coat on, and fucking booked it out of there. I was like, I'm never going there again. So that's the end of my time at the Cocaine Barbershop. As good as it was, as good as the haircut was, I just don't think someone's gonna get shot there. Something bad's gonna go down. I can't be there, man. I can't. But it was quite the adventure. I got to see, the effects of heroin. Would have loved to see him cut my hair though, because I do think that he probably would have killed it. Honestly, he killed it on. Although maybe the heroin would have mellowed him out too much, and the haircut would have been not as good as the coke haircut. But Coke or Adderall, you're going to give a good haircut on. I remember the first time I did Adderall, I was just like, this is just legal Coke. This is just, it was crazy. I think, like, my problem is when I'm so hyper as a person that, like, Adderall doesn't affect me as much as it affects other people. I remember I had to study for, like, exams when I went to college for the fucking year and a half I went to college before I dropped out. And my buddy gave me like a 60 milligram Vyvanse, which is like a super Adderall. And he was like, all right, dude, so like you take it and then drink a Red Bull and you're going to be up for like 2 days straight, man. It's going to suck. But like, you'll get all your work done. You get all your studying done. You're going to kill it on these exams, man. And I was like, cool. Took the Vyvanse, drank the Red Bull. And I was like, okay. And I'm like studying for a little while. And I'm like, like feeling kind of tired. And I just like took a nap on the Adderall and the Vyvanse and the Red Bull, and I woke up and the next day I called him. He's like, "How'd it go, bro? You haven't slept yet, probably." And I was like, "No, I took a nap and then woke up and studied more and then slept, And he goes, "Oh, gosh, shit! So you didn't take the Vyvanse?" And I was like, "No, I did." And he's like, "Are you a psychopath? Like, are you a crazy person? You took a fucking 60 milligram Vyvanse and then drank a Red Bull and you took a nap?" He's like, "Are you? Do you have a pulse? Are you alive?" So ridiculous, man. College was fun, I guess. College is so fucking stupid. I mean, if you're not gonna be a surgeon or like a lawyer, there's no it's so pointless. I was an undeclared major. Undeclared. If you're an undeclared major, don't go to college. Like, if you don't know, undeclared means I'm admitting that I have no idea what I'm doing with my life. You should work at a Denny's until you can make a declaration. You should not go to a college and go, I didn't even choose like, oh, sociology. I'll be a sociology major. Like, I was like, no, I just can't. It's undeclared. I was literally taking classes like you just get the textbook and it would be like, math. Like, my friends would be like, yeah, bro, I'm studying psychology, so I got Psych 101, and then, Tuesdays I got Psych 201, and they're like, what are you taking? I was like, me, I'm taking science. I'm taking English. They're like, oh, like English and literature 101, and I was like, nah, just English. You just talk to another guy who speaks English, and he tells you everything's gonna be okay. It's so stupid. It's like the college thing is like so many people are just going, because I feel like my generation, I'm 24, about to turn 25. My generation is like the we all went to college generation, where like our parents, half of them, they either went to college like and they were the first generation of their family, or they didn't go to college but they wish they went to college, or they went to like community college or something like that. But our parents' generation were kind of the first generation of people to even go to college, at least where I'm from in Buffalo. Like, my grandma didn't go to college, but I feel like they just wanted us all to go to college. They were just like, oh, my kid, like, obviously I want my next generation to be more successful than me, so they're going to go to college. But my parents paid some money, and then I took out a shitload of money in loans when I was 17 so that I could get – I'm from Buffalo. I went to Syracuse University. I literally just went 3 hours east across upstate New York to get blackout drunk in a different town. That's all it was. I didn't learn anything. I didn't declare a major. I got hammered and ate free pizza 3 times a day at the dining hall. Like, I just literally, my parents and I both paid for me to get blackout drunk and eat pizza in a different city than I was already getting blackout drunk and eating pizza in. That's it. I was doing that in Buffalo, and then we paid. We got together. We were like, narrowed it down. Okay, there's 7 choices. Narrowed down to 2 choices. Here's our school. Oh, Syracuse. Okay, so that's where Luke's going to go get blackout drunk and eat pizza. That's where he's going. What's his major? Undeclared. He doesn't know. He's studying fucking Spanish. Just not Spanish 101, just Spanish. Just first semester, you just needed to say hola and adios so you could get an A. It's so ridiculous. Ugh. That upstate New York drinking is a different beast too, man. I went home for the holidays to Buffalo, and I don't know if you guys have this where you're from, but we just drink when we're all home, especially, and like I haven't seen my buddies from growing up in a while. We're all there. We just drink for like 6, 7, 8 days straight. Not just all day. My friend who's my roommate, Joe's also from Buffalo, and he was telling me, it was so funny, this perfectly describes Buffalo. He goes, dude, I got drunk and sober 3 times each in the same day. He's like, I got drunk, took a nap, got sober, woke up, got drunk, took a nap, got sober, woke up, got drunk. I was like, it so perfectly describes like what Buffalo is. There's nothing else to do. My friends and I, was 4 of us, went to this bar that we've been going to since we were kids. I love how I say that, since we were kids. Like, I was like fucking 6 years old, like riding my trike up to the bar, like in my tricycle, just like skirting, fucking pulling out a candy cigarette, lighting it up. But no, I mean, we were drinking bars when we were like 16, 17, so we've been going there since we were kids, since I wasn't a legal adult yet. And it's this bar we've been going to. It's so cheap. Beers are $3, you know. And 4 of us racked up. This girl that we know, it's our friend's little sister, was the waitress. We get there at like 6 or 7 at the beginning of her shift. The 4 of us at this cheap-ass dive bar ran up a $300 tab, drank for like 6 or 7 hours, paid the tab. She got off shift. She took a shot of tequila with us, and then she drove us all home. It was literally, we drank with a waitress from the beginning of her shift to the end of her shift, and then got a ride home from her. Like, saved, we were like, we spent $300 here. Like, we're not going to buy an Uber. Drive us the fuck home. She wasn't even a DD. She was a slightly drunk driver. Like, we drank that whole time, and we drank that whole time. None of us drove, and we still didn't have a fully sober driver. We drank with a waitress for her entire shift, and at the end we were just like, yo, like, either you drive us home or we're just gonna sleep at this bar. So those are your 2 options. It's so disgusting. It's playing darts and pool. I have no hand-eye coordination, and I'm good at those games just from growing up in Buffalo and being at bars. Like, you just get good at darts and pool. Like, I have no business being good at them. I can't shoot a fucking free throw. I can't kick a soccer ball. It's humiliating. I'm a terrible athlete. I haven't been at a full sprint since 2011. It's the last time. My hands, my body, they just don't work. Like, if you watch me play sports, I think people think that I'm not a bad athlete because I'm not in like bad shape. I'm not chubby or anything, but boy, oh boy, it's disgusting. It's bad. I'm like one of those people, you ever see a guy playing basketball and he doesn't bend his knees? I have like a real problem with knee bending. It just doesn't. I can bend my knees in real life, but when I'm on the basketball court, I freeze. And what happens is I just bend over just at the waist. Just at the, I gotta get in position. Yeah, no athleticism. It's bad. The running was bad. We used to do the I don't know if you did this. We used to do the mile run growing up, and then they switched to this thing called the pacer test, which was just you'd basically do suicides, but it was just like it was way more humiliating because the mile run, everybody did it, everybody finished. Like, you're not gonna not finish a mile, and then the fast kids would finish in like 6 minutes, and the fat kids would finish in like 11 minutes, and it wasn't humiliating. But the pacer test was like a back and forth sprint, essentially like a suicide. Like, if you ever do basketball, suicides, and kids would just be falling off. Like, one guy would make it like 10 and he's just fat and he just like topples over at the end, and the people are just like running past him as he's sitting on the ground. And then finally you get down to like one person. This is the other thing, it was like competitive too, which is just like it's humiliating enough for like a fat kid. I was a fat kid, so I didn't have fun, you know. It was like humiliating enough to have to like fall down and be like winded and be like, I can't go on. Like, to have to run and it was beatable. It wasn't even like last man standing. It was like if you got up to 100, you just like, oh, you maxed out the pacer test. But so it was beatable. So not only did you not finish, but it was like, no, you failed. And the skinny kids, they were finishing. You know, there'd be like 3 kids that got 100, and you're like, oh, you got 100 on the pacer test. That's great, man. I got a 27. I fell on my knees, and everybody watched me, you know, wheeze on the ground. It was so humiliating because at the mile, you could be like, oh, yeah, you know, you could lie, too. That's a big fat guy thing. I was a fat kid, you know. When you're a fat kid, you lie. You just go, you know, I took it easy. Come on, man, it's gym class. You know, what are we going to come on? Are we going to really try? You start shaming the skinny kids. That was like a thing. You tried? You tried on the pacer test? Really? Oh, you tried on the mile? You tried on the mile? Really? You tried? Oh, what are you trying to, like, whoa, what are you gonna fucking, what are you, a Kenyan runner? Huh? Oscar Pistorius? What are you going for the long distance run, man? Yeah, dude. Getting your cardio up? What are you, Lance Armstrong? Yeah, you think you're cool? Yeah, dude. I mean, it's school, man. You really gonna try in school, man? Nah, dude. I just took it easy, man. But when I'm at my house, man, I run like a 7-minute mile. But here, I just coasted, ran the 12-minute mile, man. I got other shit to do, dude. You know, I don't know if you know, like, girls don't like it when you like try hard, but on the pacer test, there was none of that. On the pacer test, it's a sprint, so you couldn't even really dog it. It was too short of a distance back and forth. You're basically, you couldn't lie. You just went until your fucking fat tits couldn't handle it anymore, and then you fell to your demise. That was it. And then you just sit there, and then it would get down to like 2 skinny fast kids, and the whole class would be cheering them on. They were like, come on, Ricky. Come on, Dan. You guys got this. Ricky, you could beat him. And they're like racing each other, and it's like so exciting. And you're just sitting there, and it's like 20 minutes later now, and you're still wheezing, like trying to catch your breath. It's humiliating. I always hated that. It's like one of those fat kid things that I dreaded. It's the pacer test. The scale at the doctor's office as a fat kid was my worst nightmare. The scale when the doctor's gonna weigh you, because it was big. I'm from the age of BMIs, where they would take your height and they would take your weight and they would have the number, and it was literally, if you're within this range, you're fine. If you're within this range, you're fat. And you'd go to the doctor with your mom, and if you were fat, they would look at your mom and they would say, Mom, he's fat. And so you'd be on the scale and you're petrified. And this doctor's going, get on the scale, and you go, I take my shoes off, right? I take my shoes off. He goes, oh, no, a lot of people leave them on. Yeah, that's fine. You don't have to take your shoes off. And in your head, you're going, yeah, those skinny motherfuckers left them on. Like, I'm taking my fucking shoes off, dude. Taking my shoes off. And then you take your shoes off. You go, okay, take your shoes off. Fine. Step on the scale, and you see him giving you the look like, you know, and you hear those ticks of the scale. Those terrifying ticks where he's going, and the thing's not coming up. You know, the thing's not going up. And you're going, you know, what about, My wallet's huge, and my belt's like 20 pounds. Let me take this off. Come on. He's like, no, you don't have to do that. By the end, you're like fully nude. The doctor's like, I'm uncomfortable. Mom, can you get your fat son? He's still fat. The BMI is still not good. He took his socks off, but he didn't score any better. He's fucking terrified. It was just so humiliating. There's so many things as a fat kid that they make you do. They're just humiliating, terrifying. Just the scale, the pacer test. Remember, like the food. Like your mom knows you're fat. She doesn't say you're fat. She says nice mom words. Fat. She says bulky, husky. That was a big thing. Husky 12s. The jeans. Most kids, they wore the 8s. They wore the 10s. They even wore the 12s if they were like a tall kid. But then they had husky 12s, and that meant that you were short, because I'm not a tall guy. You're short, but they needed them wide. You're fat. You need to, essentially, your pants need to be a perfect square, because that's what the bottom of your fat-ass body is shaped like, is a square. And that's what you get. You get the husky 12s, and your mom will go, you're just husky. You're just beefy. You're just a bulky kid. Or what was the big one? Baby fat. You're baby fat. You just got baby fat. Baby fat. You'll lose that. It's just baby fat. You're like, Mom, I'm 17. It's been a while since I was a baby. I don't think this is baby fat. I think this is Lunchables. Just stuck in my body. These are Lunchables. Oh, Lunchables and Husky 12 jeans. And you just, it's so humiliating to have to look on your pants and it says the word husky on them. You're putting on your pants and you look at the tag and it just says, yeah, husky, you fat bastard. Yeah, that's right. Did you forget that you're husky? That's what your mom calls you. I call you fat. Your pants talking shit to you. Husky 12s. So humiliating. Your mom, she doesn't want you to eat, certain foods, and you're sneaking them. You're hiding M&Ms in your room, under the bed, under the pillow. You should put Reese's Cups in my sock drawer. It gets dark out there if you're a fat kid. That's why I love the movie Heavyweights. Ben Stiller movie about the kids at fat camp. I can relate to that so much when I was a kid. There's a scene where the camp counselors come into their little cabin and they move this like ottoman out of the way, and there's all these fucking candies that just like come pouring out of the back of it like they had a secret stash. And I was sitting there watching like, I fucking had that. I had that. I had the secret stash of candies. God, Husky 12 jeans. The thing is, they couldn't call them fat shit 12s. They could. They couldn't. They had to call them Husky. Your mom couldn't call you a fat fuck. Neither did the doctor. They had ways of saying it. The doctor would say, overweight. The jeans would say husky. Your mom would say beefy. Everyone's thinking, fat. He's fat. I'll go to my grandma's house and she would get me. She didn't care. Your grandma never cares. Your mom wants you to be skinny. Your grandma wants you to be fat because she knows if you're not fat, she's not doing her job as a grandma. Grandma looks at you if you're fat. My grandma goes, you're so skinny, you're withering away. You need to eat something. Honey, eat something. You're so skinny, you're withering away to nothing. I'm like, Grandma, I have boobs. What do you want me to look like? Fucking John Candy? What do you want? My grandma would she would have graham crackers, like the cinnamon graham crackers, and then she would spread butter on the graham crackers. I swear to God, she'd spread butter on the graham crackers. It was like this treat we used to get at Grandma's house. Cinnamon graham crackers with butter spread on them. Where did she? It really is like that's like it was like she was trying. It was like she like hated me, and she was like, let me kill this motherfucker. Let me send this kid down. Let's put some fucking butter on some graham crackers. This fat fuck's gonna eat him till he passes out. Come on. This is ridiculous. I realized the other day that when I was a kid, my grandma had cold sores. She got cold sores, and I just thought that was something grandmas got. Herpes. I had no idea. I was just like, oh, cold sores. Oh yeah, the little grandma scabs. Some grandmas got. Just exclusively grandmas. And then, I get older and I realize grandma had a good time in the 40s. Grandma was out here. Grandma was doing her thing. You don't get those cold sores on accident, huh? That's what I realized, Grandma was down at the parlor down the street getting the milkshake and a pop with Vinny Castellantonio or some fucking Italian name. My grandma's so Italian. She's definitely hooking up with Italian dudes. But it's so funny. I thought that herpes were I just thought cold sores, yeah. Just those little grandma dots. It's just some grandmas get, I just thought you got old enough. And grandmas and grandpas, I figured, one day I was like, oh, I'll just get old and then, I'll just start getting cold sores. That's something happens with age. Herpes, just happens with age. You get old enough, you get crow's feet. You got to replace your hip. You got herpes on your lip. Just standard old people stuff. Oh, and I realized, unfortunately, grandma was fucking. Grandma was out here. It's a dark realization to come to. And you go, cold sores. And someone's like, oh, that's herpes, bro. And you're like, oh. And you're like, yeah, you get them from, other people. Like, if someone's got cold sores, that means they got herpes. And then in my head, I'm like, yeah, but, my grandma got cold sores. The guy's like, yeah. Grandma's got herpes. Come on. You get, that's just what it is, dude. That's what it is, man. Grandma's get the fucking, it's rough, dude. It's so rough. My grandma, she's so funny. Like, she passed, but she's old. She's great though. Not a fan of the Jews, It's my first memory of her is that she fed me. I'm really doing a great job memorializing my grandma. She's graham crackers with butter that she fed me. She had herpes, didn't like the Jews. 3 first things I remember about my grandma. But no, she didn't love them. She had a sister-in-law who was Jewish, and then she did the classic old person thing where you meet one person from a race that you don't like, and then you make a sweeping generalization that everybody from that race or religion is garbage. So that was what my grandma did. That's what my grandma did with Jewish people. She would go, yeah, Luke, the Holocaust was a long time ago. Like, the Holocaust was, Luke, that was a long time ago. It's just, a lot of them, they still talk about it. There's a big thing, Italians love to do this, where they just go, Italians, we had it just as bad as the Jews. They love to do that. Black people complain, but when Italians came here, they had it just as bad as black people. It was, Italians got treated terribly. Some Italian and Irish people love to tell you that Italians and Irish people had it as badly as black people and Jews, but it's not true at all. Because Italian and Irish people, you can say their slurs. Mick, Dago, Guinea, you can say them in mixed conversation. You're never going to say Dago and then have someone go, whoa, man. Come on. You're really going to say Dago around me? Like, it's 2019. It's 2020. Come on. Really? Like, aren't we past that? Dago? God, it's so disgusting. No, nobody's going to say that. You can talk to some hipster white girl and you're like, Dago. She's like, fucking Italians, dude. Those fucking Dagos. Nobody's going to correct you on that. Nobody cares. So, yeah, if nobody cares about your slurs, you didn't have it as badly as the people whose slurs you can't say. You can't say the N-word. Can't say any Jewish slurs. It's horrible. That's a big thing. The Italians love that. Italians had it as bad as the Jews, as bad as the black people. Yeah, bad as best. Italians had it very bad. On Thanksgiving, my mom and my Aunt Lisa, her sister, were trying to convince me that Italian women are women of color. That was the big thing. And my cousin, she's like 21. She's in college. She's woke, She's just out here doing her part, using the right pronouns and saying everything the way it needs to be said, and looking for those underrepresented and making sure we have representation and everybody's taken care of, and but it doesn't go to, I love her, but no soup kitchen, doesn't volunteer at a women's shelter, has $2,000 computer, gets hammered with their friends. know, a lot of this in the, as they say in the rap world, you about that talking, you not about that action. Lydia, you all about that talking, you not about that action. But my aunt and my mom were trying to tell us that they are women of color, and my cousin's really upset by this. She's going, "That is not okay. You can't say that. You can't say you're women of color. You're not. There's actual women of color. You guys aren't women of color. You cannot say that. That's not okay. Like, that is, especially like in this year, like that's like not cool. Like, you're not allowed to say that." And I'm, as the Joker said, I'm an agent of chaos. So I'm just going, yeah, you guys are black. You're fully black. And they're just going, we are black. We're the same. We're women of color. We're black. It's my mom. So my mom talks. I'm black. Luke, I'm black. I'm a woman of color. We've had it. Italian women have been treated just as bad as anybody else. I'm a woman of color. And my cousin's horrified. Stop saying that. Don't say that. And I'm going, yeah, no, you're fully black, Mom. I couldn't tell the difference, honestly. For the first 12 years of my life, I thought you were Aunt Jemima. I was fully convinced that you were a black woman. This is you're definitely a woman of color. But hey, man, we've been going for about 40 minutes now. My roommate's got to get in here. She's got to use this wonderful makeshift studio. But I really appreciate you guys subscribing to the podcast. Please subscribe on iTunes. Give a rating on iTunes. That helps a ton. Please, subscribe to my YouTube channel. It'll be on. If you're watching the video, you're seeing it. Just hit the subscribe button. But give a rating, give a review on iTunes. If you made it this far, you listened, you liked it, that really helps, dude. It just helps bump the numbers up, helps more people listen to the podcast. I really love doing this, so I just want to do more of it and want as many people to hear it as possible. And as always, follow me on Instagram at luke.touma, luke.touma. I will see you guys next week. I love you. Thank you. Have a good one. See you guys.